Previous episode synopsis.
Breaking apart.
Swallowed by an unknown energy, geologist Thomas and surgeon Grace wandered into a soundless alternate world where time had frozen. The two headed to Moi International Airport, seeking a faint hope and traces of survivors. This time, in the uninhabited airport enveloped in silence, an unimaginable new encounter awaits that will drastically change their fate. Spreading out beyond the window is the deserted Moi International Airport, the aerial gateway to East Africa. The silver aircraft quietly and slowly lands on the desolate runway. There's no response on the radio and no answer from the control tower. We can't even receive a beacon. We managed a forced landing, but the situation here is the same. The two walk through the dimly lit lobby. Only their footsteps echo abnormally loud on the cold floor. The systems are completely down. The flight board is pitch black, too. It's almost as if all the people in the world suddenly evaporated. As the taut thread of tension loosened slightly, fatigue washed over them with a thud. The two sat on chairs in the lobby and began to talk. Let's find a room in the airport where we can stay for now. First, I want to take a shower and get some sleep. Yes, let's do that. And I want to return to Los Angeles as soon as possible. I'm worried about my parents, too. I'll check later to see if there's a long-distance jet parked at the airport. No, confirming the current situation comes first. There are too many dangers. I'm not good at physics, but how can we understand that the world changed overnight? We should refrain from moving until we understand the situation. It was at that moment a massive shadow swooped down in front of the two. That was their first contact with a giant bird, a condor. Please do not be alarmed. Lost travelers of Earth. My name is Vector, a resident of a different dimension, but I fell to Earth in an unforeseen accident. After that, in a second unforeseen accident, I fell into this dimension along with you. I am a misfortune-loving android. Nice to meet you. Vector begins with a polite greeting, so as not to frighten the two. At that calm, gentlemanly voice, Thomas and Grace caught their breath. He explained the situation and slowly folded his wings to show he had no hostile intent. I was planning to return to my original world, but your appearance disrupted the dimensional transfer, making it impossible for me to return, and I was sent to a different world again. I want you to think back. I should have warned you twice. Startled by those words, the two apologized to Vector. So because of us that time, you ended up in a place like this. We are truly sorry. I'm so sorry. We didn't know anything. That was my fault. The night sky was just so mystical. Apologies are unnecessary. What has happened cannot be changed. More importantly, from now on, let's cooperate and conduct a survey to find the next dimensional hole. Will you help me? Vector narrowed his eyes gently and promised to cooperate from now on. Now, let me introduce my companion, the AI robot, Logic. He is my limbs, given to me in the previous dimension, but he is the ultimate partner who is extremely helpful. After brief introductions, Logic brought over a broken buggy he had found in a corner of the airport. Oh, isn't that a buggy? From now on, since we have to drive where there are no roads, it's the perfect vehicle for places we can't otherwise survey. Thomas spoke about maintaining it in cooperation with Logic, but in reality, Logic ended up doing it all by himself. All right, Logic, I'll help too. First, let's take apart the engine. Wait, you've already dismantled it? That's too fast. Leaving the securing of transportation to Logic, Vector's special lecture began. Vector, lecturing to the best of his knowledge about the dimension they wandered into, and Logic next to him, taking on the role of quickly drawing diagrams on the whiteboard. Vector's explanation continued. Why did we fall here? What kind of dimension is this? He explained these things simply. Rifts occasionally appear in the space between dimensions. Unfortunately, we were swallowed by one of those rifts. Then, the cruel truth. He began explaining that this place is the dumping ground of the multiverse. This world we are in is a dumping ground where things sucked into rifts from all dimensions accumulate. That is the true identity of this world. A wide variety of matter exists in this world. I deduce that it is an extremely fantastic dimension. In the middle of his explanation about it being a dumping ground, a question from Grace flew out, unable to hold back. "Hey, Vector, are there other Earthlings here? Aliens too?" "What kind of question is that? Earthlings and aliens are the same. You guys are literally here right now, aren't you?" "It's not just biological life forms, energy forms. There are probably intelligent life forms made of pure energy, too. In my reasoning, I deduce that the ones who created this dimension are those intelligent life forms. There is no definitive proof yet, but when the dimensional hole opened, I sensed a life form. It felt as if it was acting with some kind of intent. Perhaps both I and you guys were chosen by those intelligent life forms. We might be being observed somewhere, like fish kept in an aquarium. Hey, Vector, what was the dimension you were in like?"
I am ready.
Suddenly, the light and image of a projector floated in the space. Surprisingly, that was the light and image of a projector emitted from Vector's eyes. I used to live in the royal family of a certain planet. I spent peaceful days devoting myself to my studies with the prince. One day, due to an unforeseen accident, I fell into a dimensional tunnel and ended up wandering onto Earth. This time, I intended to return to my home planet from there, but I ended up arriving here. What was projected in the image was a beautiful and fantastical city center of his former home country. Unlike ordinary people, the royal family possessed wings like angels and governed the country with great trust and authority. They were angels who possessed wings that could fly freely, preferred a simple life and studies, and considered inconvenience a virtue. I am an android given life by those angels. Amidst their amazement at Vector's magnificent past, Logic drew a single diagram on the whiteboard. It was a drawing of an infinite power supply unit. Vector explaining the power supply unit. This unit uses technology we used in our previous dimension, but when we experimented to see if it would function with the physical laws of this dimension, it was a success, so I immediately had Logic build it. With this, we won't need fossil fuels or unstable nuclear power for our activities. The moment he finished speaking, Logic showed them the infinite power supply unit he had made from the junk in the airport's workshop with a cool face. Unbelievable! Are you saying you made that just now from the airport's junk? It's a powerful and safe clean energy source with a capacity of 3,950 kilowatt-hours per unit. Having obtained a powerful energy source, they all made plans for the future. To search for singularities in space-time, high mountains, dense forests, the ocean, and so on, we need transport capable of covering land, sea, and air. That buggy from today looks useful, and we can also use the VTOL aircraft. What's left is a marine transport vessel capable of carrying these. A large cruiser should solve the problem. First, let's repair that buggy and try electrifying it. While the men get excited like boys over the mechanical plan, a little ways off, Grace finds a display bedroom in the airport lobby. Wow, this is nice. Last night it was a sleeping bag in a tent, so I'll try lying down for a bit. A journey in an unfamiliar alternate world, overlapping tension and fatigue. When Grace lay down for a moment, an intense drowsiness washed over her, and she fell asleep just like that. In her dream, her parents speak to her worriedly. However, their figures cannot be seen in the darkness. Before long, it became hard to breathe, and Grace woke up with a start. Did something happen to my mom and dad, too? Meanwhile, in the hangar, Logic is silently continuing to maintain the buggy alone. The buggy undergoing maintenance. Sparks fly, and new life is breathed into the rusted chassis. Thomas and Vector join him there and participate in the buggy's maintenance only by offering unsolicited advice. Oh, it would be better to make the suspension a bit stiffer. No, strengthening the armor is the first priority. However, there was no room to interject in Logic's perfect work. Finally, Logic takes the buggy for a test drive. Amazing acceleration. That quiet driving sound unique to electric motors. It's a magnificent revival, isn't it? Looking ahead to their next objective, Logic takes Grace and moves to the yacht harbor to search for a cruiser. A beautiful sunset. It's a place that looks like the world has ended, so why is it so beautiful? When the two board a magnificent, untouched cruiser. Thomas and Vector come flying down from the sky in the newly repaired aircraft. And they slowly land on the cruiser that Logic and Grace have boarded. A luxurious ship illuminated by the sunset. Will this cruiser become their new companion? Their survival in this alternate world has only just begun. Preview of the next episode. Can the grand plan to turn this giant ship into a fortress be realized? Furthermore, there is a high possibility that the next dimensional hole is still nearby. An unsettling air flows between Thomas, who wants to go out and investigate, and Grace, who wants to return home immediately. Please look forward to Thomas's Wonderland next time as well.